Welcome to GHOSTWATCH2016. My name is Coriander Dickinson. I've seen a bunch of Kamen Rider.
My name is Heather Deary, and I've seen this Kamen Rider.
My name is Kate Stark, and I am a Kamen Rider.
We are watching Kamen Rider Ghost. This episode is 23.
Heart and Soul, the big icon.
Yeah, it's a big icon. I thought I was... Sorry, not paying attention.
On the last episode, we had photocopiers? Photocopier space coffins. Taco and what we have now dubbed Battle Cat.
Yeah, Emperor Meow. Scratch that. Battle Cat.
I kept calling him Meowth.
Scratch that.
Meowth?
I kept writing down Meowth.
Taco and Battle Cat fight. And we learned that Taco is a dang thief.
He stole a giant beige brick from Gnome World.
He did not leave any currency that we could see.
He's a dang thief.
Thief.
We have 65 days left because time has passed. Finally.
Yeah. Like, I wonder if it's like the last time Taco went to Gnome World and, like, no time passed while he was there. And people are just like, oh, you were gone for like 5 minutes. Maybe that's why the icon, or the deadline didn't change from 69, which it was for like 5 episodes, I swear.
I think they were just trolling us.
Maybe.
But that's actually a really great theory.
We open at night on the water. There's a boat. It is square shaped. There are many lights on it. That was the most significant thing of the scene.
Not the part where the camera pulls back and you can see Pretty Boy there thinking about flashbacks of his ghost body being all lightninged.
I feel like I missed all of this.
What happened next?
A giant purple eye in the sky appeared, and then a body came through that, and then the body hit the floor.
The body, and then all of the people that were around there also hit the floor. So
then the
all
bodies.
of the bodies hit the floor.
Wait, are you saying that was a flash mob? Is this how flash mobs work?
No, we're in a drowning pool.
Oh, sorry.
So the bodies hit the floor, and then all of the buildings all around this thing just turned old and crappy.
Not like they aged like to old castles or like 70s buildings or something like that. Not just they went retro. They decayed.
They
visibly.
decayed. They like had
There was an explosion of decay.
parts falling off of it. Everything got dark.
They got old and broke.
And busted.
Busted.
Hella busted.
Super busted.
And it is Battle Cat.
Meowth.
But then it is Military Man. So I'm thinking the icon that...
Military Meowth.
Stop it.
You're
There's
right.
only so many names.
You're right. Military Meowth. The icon that Sweaty Bro gave to Military Man when he woke him up inside that photocopier last episode.
That's a sentence you just said. That is a sentence that came out of your mouth, and it made sense.
See, the more things we say, the weirder it's gonna get. Especially with this episode.
This episode gets hella weird.
We're gonna have to describe a thing in this episode that I don't know that a human being could describe.
There's like 2 or 3 things in this episode we're gonna have to describe, and we did not take good notes.
You were saying.
In my notes, people okay. They're all running and screaming. Buildings not okay. Very old and busted. We cut to a stack of business cards at Snapple HQ.
This is the best part of the episode until other things happen.
Onari has had business cards made for himself, Akari, and Taco, and their faces are on it. And Onari just loves his business cards so much.
Onari has 2 stacks of business cards. The others only have like 1.
And he's just holding them and looking at them and staring at himself.
QB's sitting in the hallway, like painting happily behind him.
Akari walks in, and Onari's like, look, got business cards made. Taco walks in, and he's like, look, Taco, dude, got business cards made.
And Taco's like, you're a Ganma! Tell me what you know!
That's to QB, not to Onari.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, he ignores
really
Onari
weird.
Screaming at QB. He's mad.
I mean, I can't remember where we left him, but I'm guessing he was beat up and then he just showed up here.
Yeah, he's got like some scratchy things on his face. Stopped for a haircut or something. His hair's a little shorter.
He got in a fight, got a little scratched up, was like, ugh, I'm gonna go take a haircut. Gets his haircut, he's like, I'm still really angry.
Maybe he's just angry at how bad his haircut was.
It looked pretty good to me.
Well, now we're in the lab. And there's, sir, could you not?
Don't know why the police need to announce to the world where they are.
I find on Twitter they constantly tell people not to tweet about their locations.
Now we're in the lab downstairs with the monolith, and Gramps is there, and Urisen is there, and they're talking to the giant icon.
Well, I mean, they want to be friends with it. I mean, I assume Urisen wants to be friends with it. He's got a large eye. This thing potentially has a large eye.
And Taco stomps down the stairs and kicks the pole and makes a cartoon effect. Hurts his foot. And then Gramps puffs Urisen away.
Like, hits Urisen. There was a puff of smoke, but he definitely hit Urisen to the point where Urisen said, no, not in my butt.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So then Taco starts kind of interrogating Gramps about the icon, and Gramps said, I don't know anything. I'm in the dark.
It's like, your job is to make friends with all the heroes. Like, what the hell are you talking about with this giant icon and gnome world?
Stop focusing on this stuff. This is not a thing you should be even thinking about. You've got a job to do.
And Taco's like, right, if I get all 15 icons, I get to make a wish. Good plan. And he leaves, and Gramps is like, oh, he's given into fear. That's not good.
Now we're down at the water with our sweet, sweet, pretty boy. And he's sitting on the ground looking kind of sad.
Yeah, he's slumped against a pillar.
But Spectre walks up, and Spectre's like, hey, man, you helped us. Now I'm going to help you. And you're in the real world now, so you need food. And this was just the cutest little scene, because he hands him a little, like, pre-wrapped sandwich and a little carton of milk. And then he just sits there, and you can tell he's like, oh, man, this is good.
Yeah. Pretty boy's just like, this is good. But see, eating's really inconvenient. I don't get how you can put up with this, but...
Wait until he discovers jobs.
I mean, I think he kind of knows what working is like already, just
but
not
he lives in a
conventional
perfect
sense.
utopia.
I don't think perfect utopias involve jobs other than photocopier repairmen.
I'm sure they had a take your son to work day thing.
Sorry, photocopier repair gnomes.
That's correct.
At this point, Taco then screeches up on his motorcycle looking all angry.
And he goes up and confronts them because he's all like, why are you helping him? He's a gnome. And the camera does a big spin forever around them.
Yeah, they're standing by this pillar, and the camera just keeps spinning around the pillar and the three of them as they have this conversation about, why are you kidnapping people? Those are my people. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, hey, I want all your icons.
And the most intense music in the world happening. But then they realize that all 15 icons are together. Because Taco has some, Pretty Boy has some. At this point, does Spectre have any?
Yes. Yeah, he's got a few.
He's got 3. So all 15 icons are in one place, and they're all talking to each other.
And he's all like, give me all your icons. And they're like, what? No. And at that moment, military man walks up. And he's like, well, I'm here to execute Pretty Boy.
Yeah, Emperor said you had to go. You're unnecessary. I will transform Ultima Meowth now. You can't make me give him a different nickname.
It's Battle Cat.
Meowth.
So military man transforms into a cat. Military Meowth transforms into a cat. Hodor was giving me a look. Spectre transforms. Pretty Boy transforms. But Taco doesn't.
And Taco he puts his hand up as if he's going to.
Yeah, he took out the booster juice icon.
And then he looks and sees that Pretty Boy is also going to transform, and he just stops and turns away to look out at the water.
Leans over a railing that's a foot away from where the battle's happening.
So then Spectre, Necrom, and Battle Cat are fighting. And Battle Cat dissolves or ages. I don't know what the term for it is.
Disintegrates.
I wrote decimates.
Gun.
Yeah. The gun also hits a car, dissolves the dang car. So The camera turns back and it's all like old and rusty and fallen apart.
Spectre looks over to Taco Time and is like, hey, hurry up, transform. And Taco Time's like, nah, gnomes aren't worth saving. You gotta... I have to make a wish with icons or something.
And then all of his icons get angry and leave.
Every single one.
They just fly out of the sack.
I also am kind of confused why Taco Time is very anti-gnome all of a sudden, because he was very pro-gnome before making friends. Like, he made 2 of them practically.
It's because he went to Gnome World.
Yeah, and then kind of saw what was going on and is super not down anymore.
Remember how he used to like be thinking all the time about what KMS was saying about like how perfect utopia it was and there was no war and everyone was friends and happy and lived forever?
Yeah.
And then he went there and he saw someone die at a photocopier.
Another sentence you have just said.
I mean, I get all that, but it's not like he spends a whole bunch of time fighting gnomes, and then he spends a little bit of time being like, no, some gnomes are okay, and then he goes back to, nope, all gnomes are bad. And I just felt like that was a bit weird.
Do we want to talk about the quadcopter?
Well, Battlecat grabs onto Necrom and starts to dissolve him.
And then?
Spectre changes icons.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Good thing his bike is nearby.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there's apparently it wasn't there before, but the camera zoomed out. It was like, hey, bike's over there.
Huh. What happens with that?
It turns into a butterfly
Is that what it was?
Quadcopter.
backpack. And it goes and it smacks into Battlecat like it's the jacket. So Spectre uses Houdini to save Necrom and then fly away like a beautiful butterfly.
Quadcopter.
Backpack.
Then we cut to Snapple HQ, where all of the icons that had left Taco Time are now gathering around near the monolith area, and Gramps is there, real upset that they're there, and he's like, oh, things are not going well.
So we cut to down closer to the water at the waterfront.
I called it a rock beach.
Cut to the rock beach.
Yep.
And Taco's just sitting near the water, like with his feet in the water, basically.
It's like, oh, no icons. I'm just gonna stare at the sky now.
Urisen shows up. Not really sure why.
And so, like, the shot was really weird with Urisen there, because, like, it's a top-down shot of Taco, but then Urisen was on the same plane as the camera, kind of. Like, Urisen was facing the camera.
Remember, Urisen is a puppet, and they need to work around the puppetry.
Really? I thought... okay. I didn't think he was a puppet anymore. I was really
Well,
buying into this.
He's a ghost.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
Yeah.
Ghost
I like the
helper.
little whistling sound he makes when he flies.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah. We're under a bridge in a different water area.
No, you missed the part where Urisen said, don't sit on that rock, you'll get your butt wet.
I didn't write any of that stuff down.
There's a lot of butt talk this episode.
Only from Urisen.
Yep.
He's got an eye for these things. Just the one.
Oh
You need
my
to go
God,
sit on a rock and
leave
get your butt wet, and then
Get
just slip
out
into the ocean and disappear.
Of here
No.
forever.
So we're under a bridge in a different water area, and this is where Spectre lands with Pretty Boy.
we're not quite under a bridge. We're like lazily flying down to land under a bridge with our quadcopter backpack.
butterfly.
Pretty Boy is upset that he saved him,
Like,
'Cause
don't
he's-
expect thank you.
going through that period of his redemption, and Makoto is like, oh, but even if you've lost everything you believe in, I still believe in you.
Makoto is Spectre, by the way,
In case you've forgotten ever.
because I forget a lot.
They do a neat shot here though, where like further up the hill water front you
Embankment.
see Onari and Akari like running past and
Screaming.
yelling for Taco Time, who I guess they saw take off. I'm not really sure why they're looking
No,
for
they're
him.
just running through town screaming for taco time.
Do you remember every time we used to say Spectre, we would go, Spectre.
I mean, we can bring that back.
Just remember that.
We could use it for the next scene where we cut to Gnome family meeting room and Emperor Sweaty Boy is there talking to White Sister, I guess.
I named him.
And evil Gramps is talking to them.
I named him Brother Emperor.
Ooh,
Brother
Brother
Emperor.
Emperor is good.
Talking to Sister and Brother Emperor.
And evil Gramps is all like, I know things you don't know. And then he kind of leaves. And the sister's like, or is she like Sister Emperor now? Or Emperor's sister?
Emperor's
sister.
So Brother Emperor and Emperor's sister.
Well, because Evil Gramps is talking about how you have my full support. But Sweats Bro, Emperor Bro,
Brother Emperor
is very much, I don't want it. But then Emperor's sister's like, that was Dad's like friend. We shouldn't trust him.
Can't trust the magic.
Can't
And
trust
Brother
that
Emperor is
friend.
like, well, can I trust you?
Before we get an actual answer, we switch to Canon sitting outside the takoyaki stand with Mrs. Fumi.
Eating takoyaki.
Yeah, it's
Guess
very
As you
cute.
do.
Guess who shows up?
Pretty boy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty boy.
Miss Fumi or Mrs. Fumi is so embarrassing and adorable because she walks up and she's like, "Oh, you on a date?" Pretty boy's like, "Oh, what's a date?" Fumi's like, "Oh, you just have to trust what's in your heart. I mean, nothing to be embarrassed about."
Enjoy spending time together. And he's like, are you making fun of me?
Then
Like, no, trust your heart, trust your heart.
he has a slight flashback about what his dad said about listening to his heart. And then Miss Fumi comes back with like a thing of takoyaki. And he opens it. And I'm just super happy that he ate it.
Well, first he said, "I thought the heart was pointless," and I'm like, "Yo, that's a deep cut."
And then he ate the giant takoyaki.
And he was so thrilled about it.
Oh, he was happy. It was good
We were
takoyaki.
happy. We were waiting for this moment for so long.
We called it last episode. We're like, next episode, he's gonna eat takoyaki.
And then a military man shows up and it's just like, really, dude, why? You were not invited to the social eating stream.
And PB's all like, everyone get away. I'll deal with him. Which is ambitious.
You gotta have goals. So this is where Onari, Akari, and Makoto find taco time
On Rock Beach.
on Rock Beach.
With a wet butt.
Yeah,
And then Taco's basically like, "Well, there's no point. It's all over. All my icons flew away. Nah."
and then Makoto punches him into the water.
And
I'm
says,
disappointed in you.
"I thought you'd believe in yourself." Because Spite punches him.
And then Cannon runs up on a bridge that's in the back of the shot and is like, they're fighting.
Pretty
Save
boys
pretty
being
boy.
attacked by
There's
a
a cat
gnome."
man gnome.
Yeah, I don't know if you're aware of this, Kate, but in a lot of Japanese shows where there's two guys who are like very best buds, that punch is like a friendship punch of I'm going to smack you into remembering
Our
stuff.
friendship.
and then we will be good. Power of friendship punch.
Interesting.
Right in the face as hard as you can.
I'm going to punch you into understanding.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So Onari and Akari wade into the water to pick up Taco, who doesn't want to go visit the fight.
Necrom is fighting, and then his two icons just leave out of nowhere when he
Well,
tries to use one.
Hold on. They're in a rock quarry with
Yes.
a lot of large equipment
Thank
around.
you.
That is true.
That's
yes.
the point I wanted to make. Set the scene. Rock quarry.
Rock quarry.
No longer the waterfront. Rock quarry.
Well, I mean, we went to the rock beach. We got to go to the rock quarry.
Battle Cat dissolves a dump truck
It was amazing. Spectre transforms with his backpack again.
and tries to be all Houdini. I'm going to rescue you.
And then Meowth like just hits him real hard.
He's like, I'm not going to fall for this trick again. I'm like, what trick? He can fly. That's it. He can fly and carry people. But you, Battle Cat, apparently have laser beams in your belt.
Then we have Onari and Akari kind of half dragging Taco Time to the scene to be like, watch, fight.
Spectre and Battle Cat and Necrom are all fighting up on top of this ridge, and then it's not going well. Battle Cat's winning, and then he actually fully dissolves Necrom.
Pretty Boy rolls down the hill, and Battle Cat starts to get like this large blue fireball thing in his hand. He's going to throw it in, I mean, probably just utterly destroy Pretty Boy.
And he does throw it, and no one else is around there, and we're like, what? Did that hit? And it missed. He missed his first shot with his large intimidating fireball.
He threw.
Well, you know what
his shot away.
happens.
He's not throwing away his shot.
Oh,
Hamilton.
he threw away his shot. Okay. And then Spectre dives in front of the second shot, just successfully.
Protecting Pretty Boy. Which Pretty Boy, like, begins to cry as Spectre and him have a moment of, I can't believe you would do that for me, friendshipness thing.
It's like, I told you I would protect your hopes.
I believe in you.
Why would you do this? I'm
And I think-
barely able to protect myself.
I think a lot of what Pretty Boy was going through there was, what is this water coming out of my eyes?
Yeah, it really felt, when he said, what is this? To me, that question was more like, why am I crying? But Spectre was there and was like, no, I like I'm going to protect your hopes and dreams. Like, he wasn't really talking to you. But then he explodes in blue light, and all his icons take off, and then his little icon bursts.
And then Taco's like, Makoto. And he's like, I was just afraid. I don't remember why. And he transforms into his orange self.
Which seems like a dumb idea. I thought maybe he didn't have his other icon at first, because I'm like, you've seen Battle Cat bursting up cars and doing all kinds of dumb
Bursting
stuff.
up cars.
and you're
and he
gonna
does.
you're gonna take first transformation against him.
He bursts up Taco's Buster Sword.
That did happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so Taco's like, Dad! And then he uses his boost form.
Yeah, I didn't think he had to like yell out relationship status with your icons. I'm pretty sure he can stand on his own without
And this
that.
one represents the time my dad was dead for 15 years. I guess it was only 10 years, but still.
I feel bad laughing about that.
So Taco starts to give a speech.
Inspirational speech.
Very strong friendship
Much
speech.
justice. I don't understand your justice, but someday
I will.
Just like, what? But apparently the icons can hear him from the basement.
Yeah. They're all sitting around having a meeting in that basement.
They're all humans.
Like they pop out of their icons, but into their jacket selves. They're not the floaty jackets. They're people wearing jackets, but they're the suit people wearing jackets. Like they appear inside the icons, and they're all hanging out in the lab.
And they're like, you know what? He's a troubled little kid, but he's good. We should give him a hand. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, we like him.
Let's go. This is my favorite part. This is my favorite part of the entire
Tell us your
episode.
favorite part.
Taco's all like, I'm gonna make a world where my friends could be happy.
But I want to hear Kate's favorite part of the scene.
They're back in the lab.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The jackets are like, let's go. And they all go to jacket form, not human form. And they all fly out the door to go to Taco. And Musashi, remember, this is swordsman, has swords for arms, sees giant icon beige brick on the side and was like, you know what, we should bring this. And uses his swords to pick it up and then fly away.
Yeah, it was good.
It was the greatest thing I'd ever seen.
So then back in the rock quarry, all of the jackets swarm Battle Cat like birds, like
Do you remember
with
what you
angry
yelled
birds.
Do you remember what you yelled out when it happened?
Jackets
Jacket attack!
Yeah. It was
That's what
good.
I wrote down.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down too.
But then, so this is when it gets a little difficult to describe. All of the jackets float up into the sky, and they go into the big beige icon.
Well, they make an eye symbol, and they're like, you can inherit the legacy of our souls.
And then they go into the big icon, which turns gold.
And Taco
Oh.
catches it out of the air.
I just figured out what the big icon is. It's a closet for your jackets.
No,
Yeah,
please leave.
that's why it's so much bigger. Because
Please.
15 jackets won't fit in 15 in a tiny icon.
Please go.
Even though clearly people can get sucked in there and there's like whole landscapes. But, closet.
So there was some debate between the bunch of us because this thing is large. And I'm like, oh, it's a new belt. And the other two were like, no, it's just a big icon.
But
Look,
then
I really
he
wanted.
takes it. No, he takes it in his hand and he slaps it on the front of him, and it looks.
He just slams it into his pelvis.
And then like straps come out and go around him like a belt. It looks like a wrestling like championship title belt.
Look, Corey,
And it says,
I-
grateful.
Wait till
I
you
agree.
see this.
I agree that we were wrong and you were right about it being a belt. But I wanted to see him try to put this giant icon into a sack. He was not going to do that if it was a belt.
Well, now you can't.
But the tagline for grateful. Wait till you see this. Come and get it.
The vocal breakdown, and it goes into a transformation sequence. And okay, so the base suit is black with gold trim.
Yep.
And then there's armor bits attached to it with these blank spaces.
Yeah, if you take out the colors, it's fairly normal looking except for that helmet.
And he's like spinning in the transformation zone, and all of the jackets just slam into various parts of his body and leave their face imprints, like the symbols that would appear on his face when he was in their form. And then he gets a hat.
Wait, I just thought of something.
Can
If
we
he
call
has
it a
an
hat?
icon go missing, do you think we'll see that outfit with a face missing? Like he'll still be able to transform, but like one of his kneecaps will be missing a face, and then he just can't use that knee properly or something.
That's a possibility which concerns me.
Heather, do you want to describe his hat?
Can we call it a hat?
It's on his head.
Can we call it a headdress?
Mostly around his head.
So
It's every hat.
like okay, so in Booster
Together.
Juice form, he's got like this one kind of horn that comes up like a rhinoceros beetle thing, but this hat has like several horns coming up, all kind of spiky and
All over the place.
It's just,
And
like,
got,
different
the
colors and-
side wings, but also
and
the side panels.
it's
And
like
got,
not-
it's got the Musashi
Yeah.
sword in the head.
they tried
Yep.
to combine every hat into one hat.
And
It
it's gold.
Looks great.
It's an amazing outfit. I think it's his best one yet.
We all screamed and
Oh,
then
yeah.
paused the show because we, as the kids are saying, we literally couldn't. We could not even.
What's his name?
Grateful soul.
Grateful soul.
Yeah. This is a weird name.
He's grateful for his friends.
It's a pile of souls that he's wearing. They're grateful. He is a Frankenstein.
So all of this
He is made up
amazing
of a bunch of dead bodies.
fusion soul dances happened. We go quickly to the prayer room where Thick Dad liked to pray.
No, hold on. First off, in the
What?
rock quarry, watching this happen, are Ghost Gramps and Eurus.
yeah.
Right.
Eurus and,
Ghost
like
Eurus.
they're like force ghosts.
And they say, Urisan goes, holy cannoli. Like, what? Now you.
Okay, now you.
All right, yes. After the giant soul fusion dance happens, we go to the prayer room where Thick Dad liked to pray, and one of the light windows, the purple one, falls into like an eye portal on the ground, and Sweats Bro, Emperor Bro, Brother Emperor is just like, huh, this room wasn't just for praying, and after all.
And we cut to the rock quarry where Battle Cat is getting punched repeatedly.
Taco is hella powerful and punches everything.
His punch makes like an impact and shakes the screen.
Oh yeah, that was dumb.
So then the purple slab descends from a portal and uses ghost lightning on Battle Cat, and then also sets him on fire.
Another sentence that you said just to add to the tally for today.
There's a weird thing. Yeah, he's not happy about being on fire, but then it's like he powers up and becomes very spiky and red.
It's more like something spiky and red is on him.
Attached to him.
Like a weird cape.
It's got elements. It's red with like gold elements
And
that are bones.
3 eyes.
And like a fish head and bat wings, but also a fiery cape.
Yeah, there was
Maybe
a
like
weird
a crab claw on the shoulder.
there was a weird like red tail coming out of it.
Yeah,
on
it
the
had its own
back.
tail.
It was
it's
weird.
It's large and rectangular from the back. It's just kind of attached to him, and then from the front, it's just like got a head thing.
Like I don't know how to describe what is essentially a chimera, but it's not a chimera like you're thinking.
I was thinking of a chimera, which is not that hard to describe.
That is true. But I understand the animals that are in a chimera. I do not understand the ones that they've picked from for this thing.
It would not be out of place in a Bloodborne or Dark Souls game, except for how colorful it is.
So like a colorful Dark Souls game.
In a rock quarry with no scenery.
It also had someone else's voice.
Yeah, there's a lady voice. Very mechanical sounding.
Oh, right. I also wrote down that we at one point called it a butt hugger.
Yeah, because there was a thing on the back of the jacket, and Corey said something. It's like, oh, it's hugging from the back. And I was like, oh, like a face hugger, but on the back. And then you were like, oh, it's a butt hugger. And then I was reminded to get a massage.
So Butt Hugger Gnome and Grateful Soul play fire badminton.
Because the Battle Cat had the ability to throw fireballs, and Grateful Soul has the ability to just smack them out of the air.
Now, Wrestle Belt says the name of every icon.
There's a switch on the side of it and a button on the other side. And what Taco is doing is flipping the switch and hitting the button. And on the top of the belt thing, there's a little rectangular window where you can see like the icon label. Like the icons have like a square panel on the top that has their label with like their little face and their name and their number. And so he's cycling through the entire list and selecting them all.
And then all of them fly out, and they all make a big diamond in the sky. And then Taco Grateful Omega drives and does a flip as the icons are floating around him as colorful, like, orbs.
Yep.
And then just unleashes hella fire.
A giant sun.
Yeah, a giant sun, fireball, grateful mega kick into Battle Cat military man. Boy.
Butt hugger.
Butt Hugger.
Yes.
Butt Hugger Gnome.
Taco untransforms at this point.
And there's a giant explosion.
Oh, yeah, that was the big fire thing I was talking about.
Yeah. And then Military Man is actually just there out of transformation.
He's okay-ish.
Well,
he's still
pretty
around.
raggedy.
But he's still around. He didn't, like, explode and turn into anything else.
Yeah. And he runs away.
Gramps is happy. Their friends are happy. Two of those icons float back to Pretty Boy.
Yeah, they like pop out of the belt. So what you said about faces missing and not being able to use limbs or something, like I don't know what
Probably.
faces Grim and Sanzo were on.
Probably
but
not going to happen then, huh?
maybe they don't work anymore. Maybe the Grateful system doesn't work at all if you don't have all 15.
Taco untransforms and goes and talks to Snapple and basically apologizes for being angry and being a salty bro.
Everybody's happy and friends again, which is great. And then they're all sad about Makoto because he gone.
Yeah.
Well, it's more like Akari reminds them all that he's disappeared.
Hey, we're having this happy moment. My name's Akari, but you know what? Let's not forget the sad moments.
And then Taco says, Cannon, don't worry. I'm going to get it back. I'm going to get him back.
Yeah, because that was not actually his body breaking. That was his little icon soul dig.
Yeah, he's still in Gnome World.
In a photocopier coffin.
Hopefully
space.
not about to turn into ash.
And
That's going to be the thing.
Episode ends with Taco having 13 icons. Pretty Boy has 2. This
Spectre
is
doesn't exist anymore.
like the closest we've ever been to having all of them.
Unless we count that time in the basement.
Right.
You mean when they were having their jacket meeting?
And that time that he brought Cannon back to life.
Right.
And that time they were on that one suitcase?
Right. And the time in the museum in Gnome Hell.
Yes.
Yeah, they've had a lot of group time lately.
Disregard everything I just said, but hey, we're doing good.
This was a good episode.
Oh man, this was
Yeah.
a fire episode.
I got to see a dump truck dissolve.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see Jackets have a board meeting.
We got to see 2 Houdinis.
Which we haven't seen in so long that I actually forgot it existed.
Until you saw that bike revving up on its own and you're like, oh.
And then it quadcoptered, and I was so happy.
And then it smashed into a human being, and it was great.
And let's not forget that we got to see the scene that probably launched a bunch of fanfics of Pretty Boy and Makoto.
Embracing.
And drinking milk.
Yeah, just being friends.
Embracing and drinking milk.
It's like all I want in my life. We hope you enjoyed listening to this episode of Ghostwatch 2016. Corey, do we have Twitter?
We are at GHOSTWATCH2016 on Twitter.
Do we have YouTube?
We are GHOSTWATCH2016 on YouTube.
Do we have a website?
The website is ghostwatch2016.xyz.
Are we on iTunes?
The podcast is called Ghostwatch 2016, which I hope you understand based on the number of times we've said it now and the fact that you're listening to it.
If people like this show and they want to help support us doing this more, how do they go about doing that?
We have a PayPal donation thing that you can push to send us money. It is on the website.
Cool.
And thank you for everyone who has sent money our way. That really helps.
Much appreciated. This is a lot of fun
love
for us
you.
to do. We love all of you, but
we like the fact that you listen to this thing and that you're willing to throw a couple dollars our way. That's
or
really
even
cool.
tweet at us. We like when people
We also like tweets.
acknowledge our existence.
yeah, for real.
We really do like that.
Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.